What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. Listen, I know y'all read the title. It says my final comic book haul, but got some good news. It's not my final comic book haul, okay? What I'm saying is I made a new page. This page right here. Made a new page dedicated to my gaming content and my comic book content. 10 games and comics. I was thinking about it not too long ago. I was just thinking maybe I should separate my gaming and comic book content from my stand-up comedy. There's nothing wrong with it being on the same page. I just felt like it needs to be on its own thing for some reason. I don't know why and why not. So I just decided to do that. I made 10 games and comics. I'm making a lot of content on of my gaming videos and my comic book videos. The hauls, the worth the search, the Twitch streams that I do, the gamings and all that stuff will be put, well, not necessarily put, but all that stuff will be uploaded to to this page. Um, at the same time, the old stuff that are on this page already right now will still be there, all right? But I just will be focusing on more uploading some of my stand-up comedy on there and just, stuff like that. Now, will at some point comic books may be talked about on my comedy page, of course, and vice versa. It might happen. There's no way that it's not going to happen. Comedy, comic books, and gaming, all part of my life, and sometimes they cross over, sometimes they don't. It just happens. So what I'm saying is, overall, go ahead and subscribe to my new page, TN Comics, TN Games and Comics, if you're looking for more content that will be dropping for the future from today moving forward. This is my last haul for this page right here. I went back to Grand Slam Comics. They have a second location. I went back there, and I don't really go to the second location. I'll be honest with you. Grand Slam in Loveland, Colorado, I don't really go to that one. It's a cool place, smaller place, but the other one in Greeley is a lot bigger. This time I went to the smaller one. They had some great books in there. I got them as fast as I can. I was heading down to a show to go. I was heading to do a show in Denver, and I was like, maybe I should like leave an hour early, maybe two, just to check out like some of the comic books they have in the store real quick and see what's going on. Ended up staying there for 2 hours. Made it to the show on time. Don't get me wrong, but I ended up getting a pretty dope haul of books out of the store. Most likely we end up going back to get some more, but these are the ones that I got from the store that day. Looking forward to showing you the books that I got. So let's get into this haul. First book of the day. This is something I'm actually really excited about to show y'all because, as y'all know, if you've seen some of my previous videos, my first comic book ever series, the 3-part series that I did on this page, check that out. I talk about this book a lot because it's part of the first ever comic book that I ever got, and we're going to try to complete that run. I want to try to complete the run of this whole series, and this is Dark Horse Comics, a Starship Troopers Insect Touch. Yeah, I'm excited about this, man. Just being able to find one of these is cool. It gives me hope that they exist out there. I didn't think I'd ever be able to find any Starship Trooper books at all, but the fact that I found some, or just one, gives me a little bit of hope that it's possible. You know what I mean? Back to it. Next one after that, another Dark Horse book, man. This is Living with the Dead. Some of my horror stuff. I like the horror stuff, of course. As a horror fan, big horror fan, from movies to comic books to just video games, I'm 100% gonna like get any horror book for the most part, or hear about it, or just read about it. I'm just interested in these books, man. Let's keep the Living Dead going because I got Escape of the Living Dead, issue number 4 right here. This book right here, I don't know what this series is actually about because this is not attached to Night of the Living Dead or Return of the Living Dead. It's kind of its own thing. It's just an alt universe kind of situation of these movies. So I'm kind of curious what this is about. I didn't know these existed till a little while ago, maybe like 3 months ago. You know what I mean? And I kept finding them in stores, but I wasn't able to afford them at the time. And now that I'm able to afford them at an affordable price, I picked them up. That's just like I did with this in Escape from the Living Dead number 2. I like this cover a lot, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Here we go again. Escape from the Living Dead number 5 right here. This cover is cool. I like this cover a lot. This is super dope. I hope to get into this, man. I ain't gonna sit here in front. I feel like this will be something that's gonna be on worth the search or not. I'm gonna let y'all know if it's worth getting, man. This next series, man, is a gold key book that I've been looking for a while. It's in pretty bad shape. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but I got it for a really good price. And I'm not mad from it. Like, some of the staples are messed up in it and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where I feel like I can take my time to read along with the other books that are in really bad shape that I have. I don't have a lot of them, but if I buy them, I mean, I really want them and I'm interested in what's going on in them. To check out the art style, to see the page, I feel like an old book like this book came out in 1969. And we're talking about a classic here, Fantastic Voyage. Fantastic Voyage. I don't even know what issue this is. I don't even know. Issue 1. I can't even tell you what it is. But I'm interested in it, you know. I wonder what comes of that book. I'm super curious. Maybe we can talk about some of the older books. If that's a piece of content that y'all want, if we can talk about some of these older books as far as, like, you know, how to, I don't know, what it looks like on the inside. If y'all want to see that kind of stuff, some of these old books get torn apart and you're not really able to see or read some of these books. Maybe I could take y'all through a fantastic voyage throughout these old books that are torn apart. See how some of these come up sometimes. Next comic book that I got, my cartoon comic books. I can't sleep on those. The cartoon books are usually the only DC books that I buy, you know, and I'm talking about Cartoon Network, starring the Powerpuff Girls. Issue number 5. As a fan of the Powerpuff Girls cartoon, and I just think that the comic book community, the Powerpuff Girls comic books are great. The older ones just as much as the newer ones. I think Kelly Thompson is the writer of the newer ones in Dynamite, doing an amazing job. If you like the Powerpuff Girls growing up, which as a 90s kid, a lot of us did, there's almost no way you didn't like the Powerpuff Girls. It was a couple cartoons that came on TV. It was a lot of cartoons that came on TV. And the Powerpuff Girls was for sure a top tier cartoon at the time. Say what you want, it's facts. All right. Next comic book, moving on right here on another DC book, Cartoon Network, starring Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Space Ghost number 12 right here. Like that cover too. I mean, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Another night, another thing, man. I know Space Ghost is old. I get it. He's an old superhero. I get it. I like Space Ghost as a character. I think he's super dope. When he did Coast to Coast, when they made him do Coast to Coast for Adult Swim, I thought that was even a better idea. Who else is better to host a TV show but Space Ghost? So shout out to that. You know what I'm saying? Next comic book after that, another DC book here, cartoon book as well. Cartoon Network presents Cartoon All Stars. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I specifically bought this because Top Cat is in the book, bro. If Top Cat wasn't on this cover, I don't know if I would have got this book. I like Top Cat. I think he's just dope, bro. He's a cat hustler, bro. Come on, man. You can't be mad at that, bro. Like, this is one of the very few cartoons that came out way back then that still hold up. Like, Top Cat is something that still holds up, like, good. You know what I mean? Clever, smart. I like the cartoon. I'm just saying, it's one of my favorites of all time for sure. Following that, man, another one of my favorites, cartoons. We're talking about Dexter Lab, baby. Number 18. Like, that's Dexter Lab as well. I think Dexter made it on my top 10 of cartoons ever, I think. I can't remember. We did that on Twitch, y'all. If you saw me on Twitch, we always rank cartoons. We always do that. We got to do another list because I saw a bunch of other cartoons that came out recently that seemed to be pretty dope. So we might have to rearrange that list, but we'll see, Twitch. We'll talk about it. Next comic book after that, we talking about something I'm excited about. Image number 3, Bug Wars. Listen, Bug Wars number 1, amazing. Okay, Bug Wars number 2, haven't read yet. But I personally feel if it's a book that's gonna not make me not read the series anymore, it's gonna be book three. I don't know what's going on, but according to this cover, a cover like this, come on, son. I can't sit here and think that it's gonna deter me from reading Bug Wars. I think this is gonna be a killer series. I think it's gonna be one of those series that nobody appreciates until like later on. You know what I mean? So Bug Wars is dope. I don't know why it feels like it's slept on in a way. I don't know why it just does. You know. Next comic book after that, Assorted Crisis Events. This is issue number 1 from Image, which I am looking forward to reading actually. I like the cover of this. This is a thick book. This ain't light. This book it got some weight on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many pages is in here, but it ain't a light book. Assorted Crisis. I don't know what it's about. I like the name though. I'm sure it's like some kind of crisis or something, some crazy crisis that just randomly happened. Or maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? We're gonna see. I'm interested. Next comic book after that, When I Lie My Vengeance Upon Thee, book 2. This is a Boom Studio book. This is book 2. I have not read book 1 yet, but I bought book 2 because, like I mentioned before on this channel, if it's any book that's gonna defer me from reading the rest of the series, it's either gonna be book 2 or 1. Either I read 1 and I like 1 and I want to read 2, or I read to see if I want to continue on, or I don't like 1, but I gotta see if 2 gets me back in. Maybe 2 answers a lot of questions from book 1, and then we go back and forth, and then I end up getting book 3. So it's a whole thing, you know what I mean? My whole little system works sometimes. Next book after that, we're talking about Assorted Crisis number 2. I like this cover. I like it a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like this cover a lot. I think it's super dope. It's cool as hell. I don't know where these dinosaurs came from, but it looks like it comes off like a Jurassic Park kind of story. Anytime dinosaurs are attacking humans, I ain't gonna front. I'm in. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm in there. There's no hesitation. Like what we got here. And it's showing stuff, I'm in it. You know what I mean? Next comic book after that, we're talking about another Image book. This is number 2 of Universal Monsters: The Mummy. I haven't read the first one yet, but by how much I like the Frankenstein story. I like how they did it. I wasn't a crazy fan about it, but I liked it, and it got me following the Mummy series right now. I haven't read the first one. I got the first one. Haven't read it yet, but I like the art style of it. I like what's going on. I like that they're doing the Universal Monsters. I got the Dracula series as well. I have not read them yet, but I have them. And at some point, I will end up starting this book, and who knows, I might end up coming here and talking about it. I don't know. Next comic book after that, we got a Boom Studio comic book number 2. This is The Lost Boy. I know very little about this book. I bought the first one because I like the cover. It seems like it's a Peter Pan book. I will be reading that relatively soon, and I wonder if they've redoing Peter Pan, or was there something different about it. Maybe Peter Pan got like some evil powers or something. I have no idea, which would be kind of fire if he actually did have evil powers and he's going around just torturing people. I wouldn't be mad at that, you know what I mean? But The Lost Boy is something that I'll be checking out relatively soon. And this last book that I'm going to show y'all is something that I'm interested in. Something that I'm very interested in that I've been looking for a while. I haven't seen the movie yet, but Dark Horse has not been slipping up on horror movie comic books. They have not been slipping up on it. They've been doing a really good job, definitely after reading The Virus. That Virus comic book series that I talked about and a couple weeks ago in the Worth the Search books. After reading that, I had to pick up another Dark Horse comic book. We're talking about number 2, Species, right here. Species. I have not seen this movie. This is one of the very rare times that it's a horror movie that I have not seen. I know about the movie. I have definitely seen the movie cover. I know what it looks like. I know what it is. I just never seen it. So now that I, have the comic book series, most likely I have to watch that movie. I have to. There's no way I'm not going to watch it now. I have to see it. Well, I have one part of the series. Okay, I have one part of the series. I'm going to finish these runs, y'all. I have to finish the runs to see what happened. I'm curious. You know what I mean? Anytime I have horror movies attached to a comic book, most likely I'm going to find it and I'm going to read it and watch the movie. So, and then maybe I'll come back and talk to y'all about that. How about that? Yeah, would y'all like that? Would y'all like me to find a whole series and then compare it to the movie? Kind of like how I did the 28 Days Later comic book in the first my first comic book series. Maybe if that's something that y'all like. Comment below. I wouldn't mind talking about that on some horror movie comic book vibe. That might be kind of cool. You know what I mean? But other than that, listen, that is the last comic book haul on this page. Like I said before, don't forget to subscribe to my new YouTube channel, TN Games and Comics, for YouTube comic book content, as well as the Twitch VODs that I will be putting on there. I will be having gaming stuff on there as well. So you won't be missing out on anything. And this will be the last haul for this specific page. So if y'all can do that, go sub to the other page. The link is in the description below, to both of the pages, to Twitch as well as the new YouTube page. Y'all can just do that for me. I will meet y'all over there with more content, and it's gonna be fun. All right, I'm trying to do something different, man. Who knows? Maybe less haul books, maybe. I'm trying to do something different though. But like I said, hauls, worth of search, and more content will be on that page. All right. So I will see y'all over there. Okay. I'm gone. Peace.